We are canning ham today, so stick around and see how I canned up some ham and got myself 8 pints of cheap, on sale Easter ham to put on my shelf for future recipes. So this is the ham that I got on sale during Easter time. I got it for $1.19 a pound, you can see, and it's 9.72 pounds, so it's a $12 ham. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna unwrap this and I'm gonna get all of the fat and whatnot cut off of it, and I am going to cut the majority of the meat off of the bone and cube it up, and then I'm gonna take that bone and I'm gonna put it in the crock pot and pour water over it and let it boil and steep for the rest of the day. And then I'm gonna use that as the liquid to can my ham. So I'm pretty excited because I will be able to have, I'm gonna say it's gonna be between 8 and 10 pints of ham in ham stock on my shelf that I can use for soups. I can use it for breakfast. I can also use it for ham salad, which I love. And I'm also planning on sharing some with my grandparents, and then they can use it in some quick and easy ham and beans and make some cornbread, which is one of their favorite meals. So I'm gonna get this cubed up and get the bone in the crock pot so we can do some canning later on today. All right, so we got the ham bone boiled off, all of the savable meat off of it, and then I let the stock cool so that I could scrape the fat off of the top, because I don't want all that fat in my jars. And also it's not good to have too much fat when you're canning because that can cause some issues with your seals. So after I got the fat scraped off and everything, and all of the meat that I could get salvaged off of that bone and whatnot, I got my canning station prepared. So you can see here I have my ham stock here that I also poured through a wire mesh strainer to get as much of the bits and pieces that were left out. And then here is my ham that I have cubed up, and then I have my jars here. So, and Mr. Teddy Bear Rooster is out there crowing. So I'm going to start filling my jars. Whoops. And I'm using pint jars, and I'm also using my small canner that is brand new. I haven't used it before, so I'm excited. I have a big pressure canner, and I wanted a smaller one for small batch canning. So fill these to 1-inch headspace, and then I'm gonna top it off with our homemade ham stock here. And then I'm gonna debubble. See if the headspace changes at all. If so, you can add some more. I'm gonna add just a touch. More liquid. And then I also have a little bowl of vinegar here that you're going to want to use to wipe off your rims when you are canning anything because you don't want there to be food stuck on the rim. That might also cause an issue with your seal, and then you want to feel your rim and make sure there are no nicks. Then I have my hot rings and lids. Tip tight and into the canner. All right, we'll do one more for you. So like I mentioned before, I was hoping to get 8 or 10 pints out of that ham, and I'm not sure that I will, but we'll see. We'll see how many I get, and I may be able to can some pints of ham stock if I don't have enough ham. So that will be okay too. So I'm going to fill it up again about to the bottom ring there, which is about 1 inch head space. And then add our homemade ham stock. To that 1 inch mark as well. And then debubble, because that is likely to change your headspace. You want to get all those air bubbles out so that it doesn't change your headspace during the pressure canning process, so you end up with the prettiest product possible. Add just a little bit more. Wipe our rim with the vinegar and check for any nicks. I don't feel any, it's good. Get our lid and ring. Tip tight and in the canner. So I'll get these filled and I'll bring you back to see how many pints we get out of that 7-pound ham. Actually did end up with 8 pints of ham in homemade ham stock, and 2 pints you can see here and here of just plain homemade ham stock. So I followed my directions on my small 16-quart Presto canner. I have 3 quarts of water in here. Everything's the same temperature. So what I'm going to do now is put on my lid, and I'm going to turn the stove on and let the water start boiling. And what will happen is steam will start to come out of this pipe right here. I will let a steady stream of steam come out of that for 10 minutes before I put the gauge on, and that will allow the pressure canner to start building up pressure. And then I'm going to process this for 75 minutes at 11 pounds of pressure. You need to check a source other than me for your elevation and for your food and for your type of canner that you are using, because you have to do your own research, because different meats and different elevations and different types of canners have different instructions and different rules. So I'll bring you back when we are finished. I also forgot to mention that I did also have 1 quart of ham stock that I will put in the refrigerator and that I will use here within a couple days, probably for some type of soup, or I'll use it in place of chicken stock for a recipe. All right, our canning session is done. So it's time to pull the final product out of the canner. We have sealing. Looks really good. So that's 8 pints of ham in homemade ham stock and 2 pints of homemade ham stock that I got canned up today. So I don't foresee any issues. I'm going to be really happy to have this on my shelf and to share it with my parents and grandparents. So if you like these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up, a comment below, and we'll see you next time.